Royal Communications Incorporated, good evening and welcome to King's News Run, a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. It is Tuesday, May 20th, 2025, and I'm Newton to represent the rest we follow in this evening. Request of accused, unlike legislative duties emerges this days after the official resignation of Councillor Fanatic Kufa and subsequent election of Richard as Speaker. Five requests leave for medical attention. House of Senate requests immediate investigation of Labour Minister's insurance of more than 800 as 8,000 work permit to foreign nationals following lack of proper explanation. National Public Institute of Liberia Director General says, as of January 2024, Liberia has recorded a total of 78 monkeypox cases with four current active ones. Away from Liberia, Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan has warned entities from neighboring Kenya that she will not allow them to meddle in her country affairs and cause chaos. Joe Biden's announcement that he has been diagnosed with prostate cancer has revived questions about what health issues the former U.S. president was dealing with while he was in the White House. These plus many more are all packaged. We take a very short break to be right back. As this junction, we cross over to St. Andrews with the news bulletin.
More than three members of the House of Representatives, this after the official resignation of Councillor J. Ponantikofa, have requested excuses from legislative duties from months to seek medical attention abroad and for the cater to other needs. Former Speaker Councillor Ponantikofa, following his resignation last week, requested a 2 month in which he is currently going through. According to the Grenco County District 2 lawmaker, the 2 months will be used to seek medical attention and engage with his constituent. On Tuesday, Montserrado District 10 and 12 representatives, Yeke Koluba and Jerry Yogba, requested an excuse from legislative duties to enable them seek medical treatment abroad. Others have requested excuse from legislative duties, include Nima County District 9 Representative Ta Wongwe, Montserrado District 6 Representative Samuel Endots. Representative Wongwe has informed plenary that his excuse is intended to allow him attend ECOWAS and his district engagements, while Representative Yogba's excuse is to seek medical treatment. Kings FM has been reliably informed that several members of the lower house, particularly members of the then Rule of Law Caucus, will request excuses from legislative duties in the coming weeks, something our sources describe as a means of resisting the Richard Cohn as Speaker. The Liberian Senate Tuesday summoned Labor Minister Councillor Kopokrat to address the growing concern over the ministry issuance of more than 8,000 work permits to foreign nationals. During the heated plenary session, lawmakers demanded a comprehensive breakdown of the permit, including the specific sectors and job categories under which they were issued. Despite concerns raised and questions asked, members of the upper house, Minister Crow, failed to provide the requested detail, admitting that the Ministry of Labor does not categorize permits based on job descriptions. The omission triggered immediate concern and criticism from senators and the wider public, raising serious concerns about the ministry's oversight and administrative structure. The Director General of the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, Dr. Tugba Yan, has outlined the nation's current epidemiological status and the strategic measures being implemented to boost public health awareness. Dr. Yan reported that the country has made significant strides in developing a more responsive and resilient public health system, including key advancements in the establishment of essential epidemiological checkpoints and the expansion of diagnostic infrastructure, ranging from routine testing to genome sequencing. Dr. Yang emphasized such capabilities are essential, particularly in a region where porous borders and limited healthcare access can amplify outbreaks rapidly. He noted that as of January 1, 2024, Liberia reported a total of 78 accumulated cases, with 74 of the total number recovered and 4 remain active. The National Public Health Institute boss added that as of January 1, 2024, there have been 0 deaths reported so far. Several homes and structures have been demolished in Johnsonville and Jacobtown following the Environmental Protection Agency of Liberia and the Ministry of Public Works joint demolition of unauthorized structures. On Tuesday, the EPA, in collaboration with Public Works, intensified its crackdown on what is considered illegal construction of homes. According to the authorities, the latest operation is part of a broader effort to enforce environmental regulation and protect the country from an increasingly threatened ecosystem. Speaking to reporters during the Tuesday demolition, EPA Executive Director Dr. Emmanuel Yakpawulo said the agency remained committed to combating illegal land use, particularly in environmentally sensitive areas such as wetlands and protected dry lands. He noted that the operation is part of the Environmental Protection Agency and the Ministry of Public Works coordinated demolition carried out on April 16 along SKD Boulevard and the Police Academy Road, which targeted comparable violations. The EPA boss explained that the structures demolished are built without any form of EPA approval, constituting a direct breach of Section 75 of the Environmental Protection and Management Law of Liberia, which prohibits activities such as construction, excavation, and land filling without valid environmental permit. Dr. Yakpawulo further expressed concern over the growing trend of illegal land acquisition being marked as legitimate development, particularly improper purchase and use of wetland areas across the country. The United Methodist Human Rights Monitor has expressed concern on what it termed as increase in mob violence and unlawful killings in several parts of the country. The Monitor's program director, Jefferson Knight, disclosed that on May 11 of this year, he personally observed that 3 young men were killed through mob violence along the Morovia-Rabosfi Highway. Addressing a press conference in Morovia, Mr. Knight called on the Liberia National Police and the Ministry of Justice to step up to the plate by ensuring mob violence is curtailed. The United Methodist Human Rights Monitor Program Director also pointed out that the high rate of mob violence in Liberia has the propensity to scare away investors. The Civil Service Agency Director General Josiah Joker has announced it has saved a total of over $87,000 US through the seizure of salaries from non-compliant officials. Speaking at the Ministry of Information press briefing Tuesday, Josiah Jokot said the money which was seized by the institution will be used to implement the One Chair initiative, a presidential program designed to improve classroom sitting and school children across Liberia. According to the CSA boss, over 2,000 chairs will be produced by local carpenters from the Morovia Vocational Training Center and Boca Washington Institute. He stressed that this approach not only addresses the urgent need for student seating, but also promotes local craftsmanship and job creation. He said the initiative underscores the government's commitment to transparency, accountability, and political investment in education infrastructure. And the Minister of Youth and Sports has bestowed an honor on Ibrahim Zadiberg, Chief Executive Officer of Liberia International Ship and Corporate Registry, for his support to national sports development initiatives. Youth and Sports Minister Councillor Cole Bangaloo Tuesday acknowledged the valuable contribution of the Chief Executive Officer of the institution. Minister Bangaloo described Zadenberg as a strong supporter of Liberia national sports team. According to him, the CEO of Liberia International Ship and Corporate Registry has played a key role in advancing youth and sports development through strategic partnership and resource mobilization. The recognition was presented in advance of Liberia International Ship Corporate Registry's significant donation of sports materials to the ministry.
Sam Andrews with the news bulletin. The news bulletin is a regular featured here on King's Newsroom. If you're just joining us, a reminder you're listening to King's Newsroom, the 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Stories we followed here this evening. Request of excuse from legislative duties emerges days after the official resignation of Councillor Funatikova and subsequent election of Richard Kun as Speaker. 5 requests of leave for medical attention has been extended. House of Senate requests immediate investigation of Labour Minister's insurance of more than 8,000 work permits to foreign nationals following lack of proper explanation. National Public Institute of Liberia Director General says as of January 2024, Liberia has recorded a total of 78 monkeypox cases with 4 current active cases. And away from Liberia, Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan has warned activists from neighboring Kenya that she will not allow them to meddle in her country's affairs and cause chaos. Joe Biden's announcement that he has been diagnosed with prostate cancer has revived questions about what the health issues the former U.S. president was dealing with while he was in the White House. These plus many more. We'll take another short break to be right back. When we come back, we'll bring you the voices of the newsmakers. Welcome back. And on our first development here, the Commissioner General Designate at the Liberia Immigration Service has vowed to reform the LIS and provide security overhaul at all borders across the country. Speaking Monday before the Senate Committee on Defense and Security, Commissioner General Designate Elijah Rufus said when confirmed, he would ensure the adequate transformation of the LIS, including improved border security and modernized operations across all Liberian borders. He emphasized the crucial role of LIS in safeguarding the country's various points of entrances and pledged to restore public trust at the entity through professionalism, transparency, and public engagement.
A profound sense of duty that we appear before this august body in pursuit of confirmation. Commissioner General of the Liberian Immigration Service, following our nomination by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Liberia. We are fully aware of the significance of this nomination, not just as a position of trust, but a solemn obligation to lead a critical institution at the front lines of our national security and development. The Liberian Immigration Service plays an incredible role in ensuring that our borders are secure, our laws are respected, and our country remains a place of lawful migration and cooperation with the UNISOL region. Having served this institution in various capacities, we are deeply aware of the critical role the LIS plays in safeguarding our national sovereignty, protecting laws, migration, and ensuring that our borders remain secure, yet welcoming legal travel and migration. Let us firstly thank the Almighty God, the God from whom all blessings flow, for making this day possible. Also, we'd like to thank His Excellency President Joseph Baka for our preferment. We also like to thank our family for all of the support over the years. The Liberian Immigration Service family, especially so the many commissioners whose mentorship has brought me thus far. Our vision, if confirmed, we will dedicate ourselves to the realization of clear and forward-looking vision to transform the Liberian Immigration Service into a modern, transparent, professional, and intelligence-led institution that effectively manage migration, safeguard national borders, and contribute to national development by ensuring revenue generation, capacity, and regional integration. This vision reflects our commitment to reform, modernization, and inclusive leadership.
At the same time, the LIS Commissioner General Designate also stressed the need for continual collaboration with the armed forces of Liberia, the Liberian National Police, and other security apparatus to strengthen regional security operations, and further assured the Senate Committee on Defense and Security of constructing residential quarters for LIS officers and a crackdown on undocumented migrants in Bonk, Nimba, and Grangila counties and other parts of the country. Commissioner Designate Elijah Rufus also disclosed that in 2024, the LIS entered a non-binding memorandum of understanding with Smart Black Company for the development and implementation of broader modernization effort across the country.
In December of 2024, the LIS entered a non-binding memorandum of understanding with a Italian-based company called Smart Black at the development and efficient implementation of border modernization through Smart Border Solution for the Republic of Liberia under a zero investment model. On this project, we will introduce surveillance technologies such as CCTV, biometric system, etc., as strategic border points. This will be complemented by stronger cooperation with all security entities, including the Armed Forces of Liberia, the National Security Agency, Liberian National Police, and all security actors in the country. We will also prioritize the construction of residential quarters. The construction of residential quarters for LIS assigned officers across the country is urgently imperative. To facilitate the implementation of this project, we have written various superintendents, including the Land Authority, about the significance of this project and requesting land space thereof, many of whom have responded positively. Additionally, we have begun gathering and collecting intelligence on the influx of Burkinabes and other undocumented aliens in several affected counties to include Bong, Nima, Grangida, River G, and Maryland counties. We will work closely with the authority of these counties as well as relevant government entities for their cooperation support in the LIS draft to document all these migrants, adequately advise the government the way forward. We have prioritized the recruitment, professional training, and career development of LIS professionals or personnel. A modern immigration service must be built on the foundation of discipline, ethics, continuous learning. We will work towards the refurbishing and revamping of the Liberian Immigration Service Training Academy in Foya Lofa County, standardize our human resource development. We will develop a comprehensive reform of legal migration and documentation processes consistent with international best practice.
He's the Director General Designate of the Liberia Immigration Service, Elijah Rufus. The Liberian Senate on Tuesday summoned Minister of Labor, Councillor Copper Crab, to address growing concerns over the ministry's issuance of more than 8,000 work permits to foreign nationals. During the heated Senate plenary session, lawmakers demanded a comprehensive breakdown of the permits, including the specific sectors and job categories under which they were issued, despite concerns raised and questions asked asked members of the upper house, Minister Pratt failed to provide the requested details, admitting that the Ministry of Labor does not categorize permits based on job descriptions. The admission triggered immediate concern and criticism from senators and the wider public, raising serious questions about the ministry's oversight and administrative structure. The situation has so far ignited public outrage, as many Liberians fear that jobs meant for local citizens had been handed to foreign workers.
Let me say that I have probably there's some misunderstanding. I have decided for to make it clear today because we appeared for the Senate before and we did inform the Senate that we process the number of work permits and you responding to giving information is giving information to the Senate to say that last year, 2024, we issued work permit up to in the neighborhood like around 10,000, and about 8,000 of that were regular work permit, and the total we collected last year was about $9+ million for work permit issue. But the letter is saying 8,000. The 8,000 are not necessarily regular, all regular work permit, and I need to give the breakdown of that, so that 8,000. This is the breakdown. And that the breakdown was supported breakdown with all of the for example, graduate work permit, regular work permit. We made a copy for the Senate, we made sufficient copy, we were distributed among members of the Senate. Take for example, we say non-African aliens, mean the white guy, the white people that come here and they will know what.
Well, put them all. Yes, I am. Thank you. We want to get the minister on board so that we declare on what we're doing. The minister submitted to this Senate a listing of people he's getting work permits to, and when he left on the category, the job description, the job category. In that job description category, we have asked this minister on official communication more than 5 times to submit. So he get tired of saying he has submitted that to the Senate. He knows what the Senate wants. So we see the job description, the category, to determine what is a drama, what is a capital, what is a former. Then we know for clear that we need to correct him because that is why the people always have the law that we want to correct.
I think we've sent several communications. And we've asked you to appear without this. I don't know whether this was exactly sending a new request because you're sending requests for this.
I think that you told me that we have previously submitted the list.
The voice of some senators expressing dissatisfaction over the action of Labor Minister Copo Crowd. Earlier, you heard the voice of Labor Minister Copo Crowd speaking. The Director General of the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, Dr. Dugbe Christian, has outlined the nation's current epidemiological status and strategic measures being implemented to boost public health readiness. Dr. Yan reported that the country has made significant strides in developing a more responsive and resilient public health system, including key advancements in the establishment of essential epidemiological checkpoints and the expansion of diagnostic infrastructure ranging from routine testing to genome sequencing. Dr. Yan emphasized such capabilities are essential, particularly in regions where porous borders and limited healthcare access can amplify outbreaks rapidly.
Well, from what we've been able to do thus far, the requisite checkpoints that we put in place in terms of our epidemiological response and preparedness, we have, nevertheless, we will need to augment our efforts. We have put in place the diagnostic capabilities in terms of regular diagnostics and sequencing to know what we have in our country, just in case something else crop up besides the clade 2A and clade 2B of the monkeypox virus that we already know we detected in country. And then we need to increase our surveillance and case finding processes so that we can go out there, get to know how many people are suspected to be having symptoms. That way we'll be able to test enough and we'll be able to catch a lot of cases. So those are the guideposts and activities that we're putting in place. As we speak today, we have 4 active cases. We have about 77 recovered cases and we have 0 deaths. We had about 78 cases that were active and those cases accumulate to reach up to 78. So in between time, we also had 2 periods in which we had all recovering. All those 78 cases, at some point they were like 75. At one point there were 67 and all recovered. So in December we had 0 cases because all have recovered, and then we started picking up cases again in January. As we searched more and we tested more, we started seeing some more cases. In March we had another period where all the other ones also recovered. Those 6 that we had, they recovered. So we had 0 in March. Then starting April we started seeing some more cases. So we've been having these intermittent months periods where we treat our cases that we find they recovered and we have no cases, and then all of a sudden we start seeing cases again as we go along. So that's the status we have now, and we are very, very keen on the borders with neighboring Sierra Leone and Guinea as well, and that's where our concentration is, for which we will be paying a visit along there in order to strengthen our border surveillance capacity.
He's the Director General of the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, Dr. Dupe Chris Yan, speaking. Several homes and structures have been demolished in Johnsonville and Jacobtown following Environmental Protection Agency of Liberia and the Ministry of Public Works joint demolition exercise of unauthorized structures. On Tuesday, the EPA, in collaboration, intensified its crackdown on what is considered illegal construction of homes and other structures. According to authorities, the latest operation is part of a broader national effort to enforce environmental regulations and protect the country from an increasingly threatened ecosystems. Speaking to reporters during the Tuesday's exercise, EPA Executive Director Dr. Emmanuel Urek Yakpawolo said that the agency remained committed to combating illegal land use, particularly in environmentally sensitive areas such as wetlands and protected drylands. He noted that the operation is part of the Environmental Protection Agency and the Ministry of Public Works coordinated demolition exercise carried out on April 16, 2025 along SKD Boulevard and the Police Academy Road, which targeted comparable violations. The EPA boss explained that the structures demolished are built without any form of EPA approval, constituting a direct breach of Section 75 of the Environmental Protection and Management Law of Liberia, which prohibits activities such as construction of structures and landfilling without valid environmental permits.
The EPA, in collaboration with the Ministry of Public Works, is continuing its demolition exercises today. As you may recall, on April 16, 2025, the EPA, in conjunction with the Executive Order 143, Task Force Against the Encroachment on Beachfront, Waterways, and Wetlands, established by the President, the Ministry of Public Works, the Liberia Land Authority, the Ministry of Mines and Energy, the Monrovia City Corporation, the Painesville City Corporation, and other land ministries and agencies, conducted a comprehensive and coordinated demolition exercise on the SKD Boulevard and Police Academy Road. Where action is going. We are continuing this exercise today in Jacobtown, and whether you are building on a dry land or any other land, a requirement is to have environmental permit. Section 75 of the environmental law prohibits any type of draining, blocking, pipe filling, or constructing in wetland. The EPA has not granted Resu Commercial Concrete, the company that is backfilling this place. We have not given it any type of permit, and therefore we are here to demolish their property that the building here, so as to send a signal that we will not condone this. By this action, we are warning every Liberians and foreigners, particularly our Chinese friends, to abide by the rules of Liberia, the laws of Liberia. We see violation in the city to fill wetland. We also see violation in the interior, illegal mining activities. The Chinese are involved with that. We're asking them, they are our friends, abide by our rules. This is unacceptable. Additionally, we have observed that truck drivers are then used as conduit for the unacceptable practice of backfilling wetland around the country. Once again, every development needs environmental permit. To dig or to excavate a lane anywhere in Liberia, you require environmental permit. To dump dirt in any part of Liberia, red deck or any type of dirt, you require environmental permit. What this means is that for any driver to transport a red dirt, you need two kinds of permit. You need a permit for the area where the soil is coming from. You need a permit for the area you're going to dump the dirt. It's very, very important. We are calling on the leadership of the Truck Drivers Union and the Minister of Transport to help enforce this rule. No truck driver should transport dirt without asking for EPA permit, both for the areas they are extracting the dirt, but also the area you're going to dump the dirt. This is very important. The EPA warns that any individual or institution engaged in illegal activities within wetland will face full legal consequences.
He's EPA boss Emmanuel Yapaulo. They are speaking. The United Methodist Human Rights Monitor has expressed concern on what he termed as increase in mob violence and unlawful killings in several parts of the country. The Monitor's program manager, Jefferson Knight, disclosed that on May 11 of this year, he personally observed that 3 young men were killed through mob violence along the Monrovia Robert Field Highway. Addressing a press conference in Monrovia, Knight called on the Liberian National Police and the Ministry of Justice to step up to the plate by ensuring mob violence is curtailed in Liberia. The United Methodist Human Rights Monitor Program Manager pointed out that the high rate of mob violence in Liberia has the propensity to scare away investors.
There has been a very serious concern regarding, you are calling it mob justice. It's not justice. We refer to it as mob violence. It's not justice because it has not gone through the court system for people to mob people to death. Accusing people of being criminal, accusing people of being murderer or some kinds of crime that have committed and taking the laws into your own hands. It is not justice. It is only the court, to do the court system, that we acquire justice within our country, within our jurisprudence. So when people refer to it as mob justice, I frown on it. We don't believe in that thing. No, just May 11 on that Sunday, that I personally recorded 3 deaths of young men, potential young men, whether they were criminal, whether they went through the court system, which of course I doubt that they didn't go through any justice system, they didn't go through any trial and what have you. 3 on just May 11 on the Roberts Field International Highway and on the Tower Hill, and then Boys Town, and then Tingos Village. 3 young men murdered, brutally murdered to death with no traces of the perpetrators. This is scary. Where's our security? Where's the police? Then we've been getting reports from Grand Bassa and other counties about this mob violence taking place all over the place. Mind you, if we're not careful, people will accuse people and say that they are criminal. Before you know it, you see men, and it's already happening. People will be witch hunting people and using mob violence as a way of getting to them. And when they kill you, they say you are a criminal. Even us who are human rights people and other civil society.
He's the United Methodist Human Rights Monitor, Jefferson Knight, speaking. The Minister of Youth and Sports has formally bestowed an honor on Abraham Zidenberg, Chief Executive Officer of Liberia International Ship and Corporate Registry, for his support to national sports development initiatives. Youth and Sports Minister Councillor Cole Bangalore on Tuesday acknowledged the valuable contributions of Chief Executive Officer of the Liberia International Ship and Corporate Registry. Minister Bankaloo described Zidenberg as a strong supporter of Liberia national sports team.
Continual friendship and partnership with LISCA, especially in terms of supporting our national county sports meet. We want to do this as a demonstration of our appreciation of all that LISCA has done over the years and continue to do for not only the county meet, but in overall sports development. We want to say congratulations to Liska, the government of Liberia. We are proud of the relationship and their involvement with youth development, especially through sports. So this is just a symbol of our appreciation as the Ministry of Youth and Sports and as the government of Liberia to Liska for your support to the just ended National County Sports Meet and as a pathway to real support come this coming December. Thank you so much and congratulations.
He's the Minister of Youth and Sports, Cole Bangalore. Amidst major concerns over the performance of the Asset Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force, Maryland County District 1 representative and chairman of the Horses Committee on Ways, Means, and Finance has re-emphasized his calls for the appearance of the Asset Recovery team before the full plenary of the House of Representatives. Addressing reporters at his Capitol Building office Monday, Representative P. Mark Jury said it is important that the task force present a detailed and official report of its operations, including achievements and challenges since its establishment on Executive Order Number 126. The Horses Waste, Means and Finance Chair said the asset recovery team, which is being financed through the national budget, should be accountable to the Liberian people and must provide transparency regarding its year-long activities. Representative Jury noted that although President Joseph Boakai extended the task force mandate in March through Executive Order Number 145, there is yet a formal mandate or update to report to the national legislature. The Maryland County lawmakers stressed that the lack of official communication from the task force raises serious concerns about both lawmakers and citizens, despite the administration's commitment to promoting accountability.
The President, through Executive Order 126, established the Asset Recovery Entity. And this entity was closed with the mandate to go in search, recover, find out what is stolen from Liberia. And from last year to this year, we also realized on the same date, March 5th, this year, the President renewed through Executive Order 145 the mandate of the asset recovery. And for every entity to survive and operate in Liberia, they depend on the budget. And so it's the people's or the taxpayers' money that we allocate to these entities to work. And after having worked for 1 year, executive orders, and so the president did a good job by extending. The reason is the mandates are important. And so we haven't heard from this asset recovery. And so I thought it necessary that they should come up with their report, whether it's temporary, whether it is midterm, whatever it is, we need to hear from the asset recovery. What have they found? What have they recovered? What is yet to come to Liberia? Because they are being established, they are being financed, and let them tell us the successes that they have achieved. If there are challenges, let them tell the Liberian people. And if there is need for further, what we want is let them tell us what they have found out by now. And then we can take the next steps. And the last step will be about recovery.
He's Maryland County Representative and Chairman on Ways, Means, and Finance, PMAP Jury. Yes, speaking. And away from Liberia, Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan has warned activists from neighboring Kenya that she will not allow them to meddle in her country's affairs and cause chaos. Her comments came after permanent Kenyan lawyers and rights campaigners were deported, preventing them from attending the court case of an opposition leader charged with treason. If they have been contained in their country, let them not come here to meddle. Let's not give them a chance. They have already created chaos in their own country, Zambia said. Human rights groups are concerned that the Tanzanian government is increasingly cracking down on the opposition ahead of elections in October. Joe Biden's announcement that he has been diagnosed with prostate cancer has revived questions about what health issues the former U.S. president was dealing with while he was in the White House. In a statement on Sunday, Biden's office said the 82-year-old received a diagnosis on Friday after seeing a doctor for urinary symptoms. Some doctors have expressed surprise that the aggressive form of cancer, which has spread to his bones, had thus had not been detected earlier. Others pointed out that cancers can grow fast without the patient displaying symptoms, and that men over 70 are not routinely screened. President Donald Trump told reporters on Monday his predecessor should have been more transparent with the public, seeming to suggest, without offering evidence, that the cancer diagnosis had been covered up. On that notice, I would like to go home on this edition of King's News, on the 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. But just before we go home this evening, let's remind you of stories we've been following. Requests of excuse from legislative duties emerged. This after the official resignation of Councillor Funatit Kofa and subsequent election of Richard Kun as Speaker. 5 requests for medical attention has been reached. House of Senate request immediate investigation of Labor Minister's insurance of more than 8,000 work permits to foreign nationals following lack of proper explanation. National Public Health Institute of Liberia Director General says as of January 2024, Liberia has recorded a total of 78 monkeypox cases, with 4 current active cases. And away from Liberia, Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan has warned activists from neighboring Kenya that she will not allow them to meddle in her country's affairs and cause chaos. Joe Biden's announcement that he had been diagnosed with prostate cancer has revived questions about what health issues the former U.S. president was dealing with while he was in the White House. These are stories we follow here on King's News. But Sam Andrews brought us the news bulletin. We'd like to say many thanks to all of our reporters, correspondents, news editors who helped in making this package of sources. My name is Newton Tupa. Thanks for listening and watching. Bye bye.